Hey, and welcome to my video on how to checkmate with a rook and king. It's a very basic checkmating pattern, but one of the most important that every player should know. And I figure with a lot of new chess players out there, I know there's tons of content about this, but I thought I'd add another one to the pile. I want to teach it in a way that's easy to remember, easy to follow, short and sweet. In addition, I also created an interactive tutorial for this checkmate on lichess, and I'll link it below, that you can drill against. Chapter 1, I walk you through it move by move, hint by hint, and really explain it and let you perform it. Chapter 2, I hold your hand a little less, make you perform it. Chapter 3, you're on your own. And so, between this video giving you a brief explanation of it and my 3 interactive tutorial chapters, I think you're going to have it in no time. Let me know what you think. So, without further ado, let's jump into a brief summary of how this checkmate works. First of all, you have to decide what back rank or side of the board are you going to checkmate the king on. We could do it on any of them. For the sake of this tutorial, we're going to choose to checkmate the king on the 8th rank. Now remember, these are ranks and these are files. So for this tutorial, we're going to checkmate on the 8th rank. How we do that is we have to remember that we want the kings to directly oppose each other because we want to use our rook to check and control the 3 squares in front so that it forces the enemy king back. And we'll just slowly work our way 1 rank at a time until we finally get him to the back. So, especially for beginners out there, I like to make some rules. Rule number 1, and this is most important, especially for beginners. I notice they try to check. So we're going to remember rule number 1. We only deliver a check to the enemy king when the kings are directly opposing one another. That is the only time you'll deliver a check. Rule number 2. You want to control the rank or file, if you're going to the side of the board, between the 2 kings. So in this case, it's the 2nd rank. The rook will always remain in control of this rank until you can gain king opposition, which would then allow the check, forcing the king back, and we would just continue the procedure from there. And the rook would now control the 3rd rank, and eventually the 4th rank, and so on. So without further ado, we want to gain king opposition. So that's the final rule, is you want to follow the enemy king. Generally, black is going to try to make it as difficult as possible and work their way over to attack your rook. But we'll deal with that then. So we follow. Black runs, we follow. Black runs, we follow. We just follow the enemy king until our rook is in danger. We maintain, remember rule number 2, we maintain control of the rank between the kings. Now he can go here, or he can go here. Black's probably going to prolong it. Now he has no choice. And what do we do when the kings are directly opposing one another? You got it. We deliver a check. The king has to go back. For the sake of simplicity, let's make a rule. We follow the king. Now the king will continue. Now it's the same procedure all over again, but sometimes black, or your opponent, I should just say in general, will throw a little twist. Let's say instead of going after your rook, you can't gain opposition. He's repeating moves. How do we remedy that? These are the moments where you're going to want to maintain control of the file between the 2 kings, but you want to waste a move. And how we do that? Simply move the rook 1 square. Now, if he goes there, we can still get our check. He's going to run. We're going to follow. It's customary. You see this once again. Pretty straightforward. Boom. Check. find yourself in one of these, you don't want a threefold repetition, you can waste a move. In this case, I kind of like moving it here because if he goes here, I get another check. So black runs. Now, what if black, when you finally get him to the stage where he knows another check is coming, he knows that if he moves there, there's a check. What if black moves back? These are the moments where you want to pretend like you're delivering the check, or another way to think of it is black just offered a new rank or file if you're moving the other way. We take it. Just remember that. If black sidesteps your check, pretend it's there anyway and grab the file that black just left behind or the rank black just left behind. So now black will start running. And he's going to try once again to come after your rook. And we're going to sidestep it. We're almost there. Waste a move. Waste a move. And you'll see that as long as you remember these rules of gaining opposition and controlling the rank between the kings or the file between the kings, you're going to get to this position. We have the king on the back rank, and now this final check with the two kings facing each other. Checkmate. Hope that does it for you. I'm going to show you this interactive tutorial, give you a brief summary about it. I'm not going to go into great detail. But when you click the link below or you find it yourself on lichess via the study tools, learn, study, I've made it public. When you enter, it's kind of weird, but when you enter one of these studies on lichess, you have to make sure you're at the beginning. This is how you go to the end. You don't want to cycle through all this stuff and read the notes. You want to go into the interactive portion. And how you do that is clicking this preview button. And this is what it looks like. So chapter 1. We've hit the preview button. We're in. Hello. Welcome to this interactive guide on how to checkmate with a king and rook. While this interactive guide can't cover every move choice by black, the general method and motifs remain the same. 1. We deliver checks to the enemy king only when the two kings directly face or oppose each other. 2. We cut off the file rank between the two kings by keeping control of it with our rook. 3. To force the enemy king into a situation where it has to walk in front of our king, or gain opposition, we sometimes may need to waste a move with our rook by moving it one square, but still keeping control of the desired rank or file. So let's begin. First, we have to choose which of the 4 back ranks we want to checkmate the king on. For the purposes of this tutorial, let's checkmate him on the 8th rank, same as our demonstration before. So with that in mind, we need to get our rook to control the 5th rank, the rank between the opposing kings. So for the purposes of this tutorial, let's get our rook to the a5 square. So just as an example, like say you make a wrong move, I'm going to have, it'll prompt you like, no, sorry, that's not it. The quickest way to get the rook to a5 is via the a1 square. Retry. Good move. As planned, let's get the rook to the 5th rank. Perfect. Now we control the rank between the enemy kings. The rook will remain in control of this rank until we can deliver a check. Remember rule number 1 from the beginning of the study? We only check when the two kings directly face or oppose each other. So black's going to go after us. You just click next. Okay, so now we want to follow the enemy king with our king. No, I made a wrong move. Our rook isn't in danger yet. We always want to follow with our king when we can. Follow the enemy king. And it says, let's move it all the way to h5. So this chapter 1 really walks you through it. I'm not going to go through it all here, but definitely take a look. Chapter 2, same thing. You get here to enter the interactive portion preview. This one, I offer only necessary hints and guidance for the purposes of making the tutorial flow. I added chapter 3, and I think I'll finish off the video by just burning through the tutorial. I let you know when you've made a wrong move, but other than that, you just have to wing it, and let's see if you can do it. So it says, let's checkmate the white king on the H file this time. So we're going to change it up, and we're going to checkmate him on this side of the board. So we'll start things off by taking control of the file between the two kings. I need to waste a move because I noticed that white could just go back and forth and repeat moves. They're directly opposing each other. I'm going to follow. White's going to play the game of going back and forth, so I waste a move. Oh, white sidestepped my check, but what do? We just pretend it was there. We take the file that he left behind. We follow. Once again, white is trying their little repeat. And finally, boom, checkmate. So yeah, that's the gist of it. Once you know how to do it, you'll never mess it up. And yeah, let me know what you think of it. Let me know what you think of the video, the explanation. And yeah, I hope the tutorials, the interactive tutorials help. And yeah, good luck out there. Until next time, cheers.